Hello everyone, welcome back to Road Reg. So in today's video we're going to be talking about EBC brake pads, and in particular the EBC Blue Stuff brake pads, and whether or not I would recommend them to you for your performance car. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so EBC brake pads seem to get a bit of a mixed reputation on the internet. You've got some people who love them and you've got some people who hate them, okay? But in this video, I'm going to give you my honest opinion based on my own experience with these brake pads. And as a special treat to you, I have got a special guest in who's going to give his opinion on these brake pads, as he is running them at the moment on a completely different car to the M140i. So I've been using EBC brake pads for probably about 8 years now. I used to use them in my E46 330 Ci. I started with the green stuffs, I then progressed on to the yellows, and then I went on to blues. And I'm still using the blues today. I've probably had about 4 sets of EBC Blue Stuffs in total. 2 on the E46 and 2 on the M140i. I've got to say guys, they were fantastic on the 330 Ci. Absolutely faultless for me. Now, the 330 isn't a super fast car, so the Blue Stuffs worked well on that platform. So when I got rid of the E46 330 and went onto the M140i, I started on just a normal B&W stock pad. I remember taking it around the Nürburgring, and maybe a quarter away round, they started to fade. After that, I decided to get some EBC Blue Stuffs in, and I had a Bedford track day lined up, and yeah, went to Bedford. They were fantastic. Absolutely perfect on the track. No fade. The pedal did go a little bit soft, but that was probably in 6 laps in on one of the sessions I did, and I was really pushing it. And actually, that was when I had the instructor in the car. He kept pushing me to brake later and later. So as we got onto the 6th lap, I could feel the pedal was just starting to go a little bit long, especially on the main straight. But that was the only time where I lost a little bit of confidence in the brakes throughout the whole day. And obviously I drove the car home, the brake pads stayed in the car, and yeah, drove it all around just normally. And then I did a couple of sessions at Goodwood. So after that, I decided to put another full set of EBC Blue Stuffs back on the car, as I had another Bedford track day lined up, and I was really happy with how the EBC Blue Stuffs performed on my car. They were great. So I thought, yeah, let's get another set on there, do the same thing again. And yeah, I've still got those brake pads on the car, and I think I fitted them, when would it have been? Maybe June last year. I have got a picture that I'm going to put on the screen now, so that will tell you the date. So I've had them fitted since then, and they're still doing absolutely fine. They've got plenty of meat on them. In fact, I'll do a little walk around of the car now and show you how they're doing, bearing in mind they've done a full day at Bedford and road miles. Right, so let's start at the front and see how the EBC Blues are doing. So I don't know if you can see that little white bit there, but that's where they've just got extremely hot and they've just slightly discoloured. But there is a lot of meat on those front pads. Bearing in mind this has done a hard day at Bedford, and Bedford is a brake killer. It's lots of high speed stopping. You know, it's brutal really on the brakes. Yep, same story on this side as well. Right, let's go to the rears. Let's try and get the phone in so you can see. I just quickly want to talk about brake dust, guys. Now, with any brake pad, you're going to get dust. It's just the way it is. That material has got to go somewhere, and it goes all over your wheels. And if you're into cleaning your cars like me, brake dust it's a nightmare and annoying. But thankfully, the EBC Blue Stuffs are low dusting. Obviously, they do dust, but the dust they do put on the wheels, for some reason, just comes off really easy in my experience. It's not like, it doesn't pit the wheels. It's not like blodgy or anything like that. It's just a nice even coat of brake dust. It is for me anyway. Obviously, other people's experience with brake dust will vary based on the caliper and the disc, etc. But yeah, for the 140, the dusting it's okay, you know? It's easy to clean, and yeah, just wanted to put that in there. And yeah, you're talking roughly £150 more for the EBC Blue Stuff brake pads. Now, if you guys do track days and you drive your car on the road, you only have one car and you need that car to do it all, then honestly, this brake pad really does do it all. I haven't found any compromises. The only thing I will say is the first time you hit the brake pedal, they are a little bit soft. But I'm talking on a very cold morning. Just that initial first brake is like, oh, I've got to push a little bit harder here. But other than that, they're absolutely fine. They do squeal a little bit when they get really, really hot, when they're worn out. But you really do have to be getting these brake pads warm. But on normal driving, you know, I'm talking after you've done a track day, guys. I'm not talking about if you were to put these brake pads in your car and just run them on the road. I'm talking about a brake pad that's been through some serious abuse, and then you're continuing to drive it on the road. So they will squeal a tiny bit when they get extremely hot, and I will put a little video clip in now just to demonstrate what I mean by that. 95% of the time, they don't squeal or make any bad noises. They just work. They work on the road and they work on the track. Now for me, my car is my only car. I need a pad that can just do it all, and the EBC Blue Stuffs for me just do that. I mean, I'm just trying to think of other things to say about them. They work great on the track, good pedal feel, confidence inspiring, no fade, work well on the road. Yeah, good value for money. You know, I don't see why people moan about these brake pads so much. Now, let's get our special guest in to give you his opinion on the EBC Blue Stuff brake pads. Run me through your experience with the EBC Blue Stuff pads.
So just to start before that, on my M140i I ran EBC Yellow Stuff when I first started doing track days. Obviously much slower when you first start out. The Yellow Stuff was alright, it was great on the road. It's fine on the track, I had no fade with them, but I probably wasn't trying hard enough. Put some blues, or replace the yellows with blues up front on the M140i. Very good on track again, you know, probably progressed, got a bit faster. They were fine, no fade. They wore a lot less than the yellow stuff. And then I put some blue stuffs in the RS4 all round, so front and rear. Just done my first track day, drove this pretty hard. I did 6 to 7 hard laps first session out because John was chasing me in the M4, so we got a bit carried away. I didn't lose my pedal at all on the circuit, did the cool down lap, came back in, and then as I was in the queue, I completely lost the pedal, which I think was from heat soak. But the pedal came back, so half an hour off track, came back, managed to do another 4 sessions, and the pedal was fine, the pads were fine. My only gripe with them on this car is they've worn massively quickly. I've lost about 3 to 4 mil off the front pads and 1 mil at the back. So I think going forwards, I mean, this is a big heavy car, and it's 1,800 kilos unladen.
Yeah.
We saw 135, 140 mile an hour at times in it. It's a lot of car to stop very quickly. So for this car, I think they're absolutely great fast road pad. They're well up for your B-road blast. No problem with that. As a track pad in something like this, I'm not entirely sure they're cutting it. I suppose if you were only doing 1 or 2 track days a year, you'd probably be all right with them. But I think for this particular car, I'm going to try something different next in the front, but we'll see how we go, and I'm sure we'll get together and do a review on anything new I put into this car.
So obviously Lewis has had a slightly different experience to me with the EBC Blue Stuff brake pads. They were good in his M140i, but maybe not so good on the track for the RS4. But I think that is partly down to the weight of that thing. Look, you can't argue with physics, guys. That is a lot of mass to stop from high speeds. But on the whole, he has had a decent experience with them. I'm not sure if he's going to get them again, but we were discussing this off camera. He could spend a lot more money and get a more aggressive pad that's going to last for maybe 1-2 track days more than the EBC Blue Stuffs. But 1, he's going to have to spend more money, and 2, they're just not going to work as well as the EBC Blue Stuffs on the road. They're going to take a little bit more time to warm up, you know, and if you're not driving fast all the time, you want your brake pads to work when they're cold in winter, okay? You just do. So, yeah, it's a tricky one, guys, you know. I feel like the EBC Blue Stuffs are a great compromise if you have one car that just does it all. Yeah, you might have to put in a set a year, but guys, at the price that they cost, I think it's worth it. So anyway, guys, that is myself and Lewis's opinion on the EBC Blue Stuff brake pads. I hope this video has given you a better insight into EBC Blue Stuff brake pads. Maybe you've heard some really negative stuff about them, but now you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to get some blue stuffs or some yellow stuffs, put them in the car, give them a go. And if you do that, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be really interested to find out how your experience went. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment below, you know the drill, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.